Tombstone.
What's up, honey? What's up, honey love? What's up, girl? What's up, love, honey love? I see you. What you doing, Red Sonia? What's up, Sonia? Fat Mama Sonia. What's up, Fat Mama Sonia? What's up, Fat Mama Sonia? What's up, MAYDAY? Lord MAYDAY. What's up, boy? What's up, Lord MAYDAY? What's up, my boy Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? It's my big boy, Doc. What you say? All right. Welcome back to another week, another episode of Game Dog Talk. And of course, we got the legendary panel in the building. We have the legendary schoolboy, Mr. Richard Garcia. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, thanks. Welcome everybody in the chat. Thanks for being here. We appreciate your support. And welcome to the illustrious panel.
Yes, sir. We have the legendary roster man Boone in the building. How you doing today, brother?
Yes, sir. 78 Maxim Watson Schoolboy 100 Ram the Run Dance Master. Only in America, Bacchus Reed. I got 5 toes, and one of my toes is missing, but he'll be here soon. Don't you worry about it. He's coming.
Yes, sir. We got the legendary Walking Down Rap, Big Stepping in the building. What's up, bro?
Boo, boo, boo. Real bad mind on the street. No one wrong.
Stop doing.
Shit in this fucking heat, nigga. Took the kids to the fucking resort water park. And I'm taking my ass back home like fucking 3 shades darker than a motherfucking melanin on charge, though. I'm here for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Brother Bach might be here a little later. He having some connection issues, so he might pop in a minute. So let me do a quick roll call. Hugo in the building. Salute, man. The Adams family. ODG. Bulldogs in the building. Southside Kennels up in here. Tony Gardner. Y'all gotta forgive me too, man. I gotta go give me some eye surgery or something, man, because I was in the movie theater, man, this past weekend, and I couldn't even read the movies up there, man. It scared me for a minute, but I was like, what the fuck is wrong with my eyes? And I kept but when I squinted, I could read it perfectly. I said, oh, shit, man. It's fuck.
Yeah, there's this one shit floating around called old age, bro.
Yeah, that's
that
what
shit get everybody, man.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is, bro. And so it is what it is. So I be having a hard time seeing a lot of this shit, man. I don't know why it just hit me all of a sudden.
You just gotta get you some glasses.
Yeah, that's what they say, man. But I'm gonna get that eye surgery, man.
Yeah, I'm holding out for when they come out with the Terminator eyes, man, because I need some glasses too. But I'm waiting on the Terminator tech to come out. Give me some goddamn Cybertronic eyes in this bitch.
Yeah. Tony Gardner up in here. I said Southside Kennels. Seek and Destroy. Scooter, salute to you. Nation's Best Kennels. Welsh Kennels Combine, salute, homie. Dreadlock in the building.
Dreadlock.
Salute to Vernon Starr. The homie Live Life Real is in the building.
Live Life Real.
Dickie Foster, salute to you.
Dickie.
Main Event Mark, salute, brother.
Main Event.
Let me see. Arrowhead Kennels in the building.
Arrowhead.
Martinez Game Dogs.
Martinez.
Dorian Zillers, salute. We got Dickie Foster in the super chat showing love. Appreciate the support. He says, salute panel in the chat. Yes, sir. Appreciate
salute, Dickie. Thank you.
Dog Man Scratch. Vinny in the building.
Brother Vinny.
John Kramer, salute to you, man.
John
Kramer.
Forest City Bulldogs.
Forest City.
Keon Jackson.
Keon Jackson.
Man-Made. Samurai Kennels.
Samurai.
Salute.
Powerhouse Watson. Salute to Powerhouse Watson up in here.
Powerhouse Watson.
Walnut, PA.
Walnut, PA.
Freedom Freedom staff in the super chat. Appreciate the love.
Thank you.
Let's see here. All right. Salute to everybody here. I can't read all y'all, man, but thank y'all for being in here, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Hey, John Kramer, hit me up on our IG page, bro. I got you. I seen you left me a message on one of the comments. I got you though. Hit me.
Yes, sir. And salute to everybody that signed up to the Patreon. Everybody that saw the Patreon show yesterday, and for those who are going to be watching it on the replay, salute to y'all. The Game Dog Talk Patreon is going across the bottom of the screen. Make sure you sign up to the right Patreon because I got two different ones. I got one that's 78 Sports TV. That's for life lessons and different things like that we talk about and discuss. And I got one that's called Game Dog Talk. All right, so it's patreon.com/Game Dog Talk. Make sure you sign up to the right one. All right, y'all.
Hell yeah, y'all missed a good one yesterday too, man. If you ain't signed up, you fucking missing out, bro. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was a good one. Hey, 7-8.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. You're talking about eye surgery?
Yeah.
Right? You have to be awake for that.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah. You ever heard? You know anything about it?
No, I don't know nothing about it.
You're gonna be awake. They're gonna hold your eye open, and they're gonna stick needles in your freaking eye, dude.
Man, I can handle it as long as this shit don't hurt.
I don't think it does. Angie watches that stuff, man. I can't even look at it, man, because they stick these big ass needles in your eyeball.
Fuck, yeah. That shit making me blink out like I'm having a malfunction just thinking about it.
I'm telling you, man. She goes there with her clients. She sits right there with them and watches them do it, man. And then they pull your lens out and slide a new one in. It just goes in, you know. Like,
right. That's cool.
If you squeam it, you know. And you know that when they do it, you know the first thing they tell you, right? Don't move.
Oh yeah.
Don't move.
Right. It's fucked up.
That's hella fucked up.
Yeah.
Fucking pirate eye around this bitch.
I was supposed to get glasses a long time ago. I just put it off and shit, man. But now I'm too fat for glasses. You can only wear glasses when you're skinny, man. I can't wear glasses. Too fat for it, so I gotta get surgery.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna wear glasses till I go blind, man. I ain't fucking with it.
Get glasses, Cal. Leave that surgery shit alone.
Yeah, man. Fucking glasses, man.
Hey, I got.
Just wear shades. Just wear prescription shades. You look cool, man.
You can't go from the Big Mac to a fat nerd. That ain't cool.
Yeah. Soul Power, aka Game Dump Kennels, in the super chat. Power. Says salute, General of the panel. Much love, good brothers. Much love to you, Soul Power.
Yeah, that's the homeboy right there. Boone got a good interview with them too, man. Y'all go over there and check it out after the show, man.
Oh, I check that out. Yeah, I definitely gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Definitely gotta check it out. Man, all right, let's get to it. Salute to Willie Polk in the building. Salute. He said, "Man, this show is often imitated but never duplicated." That's a fact, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Like schoolboys say, you can't fake the funk, man. The funk is real.
Right.
That's why it ain't never been duplicated, because you can't do it. You either got it or you don't.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
Hey, get the funk out of my face. Get the funk out of my face. You don't like me.
We're going to funk you right on up. We're going to funk you right on up. That's damn right.
Hey, so what we keeping?
That's George Clinton, man. That's Parliament.
No, so what we keeping?
Oh, I got it. That's my cue. We keeping it 100.
Yes, sir. All right. We got the first question for the panel. It says, if I do too much cardio with my dog, will he lose mouth, and how does that work? Mr. Garcia.
If you do too much anything, you can lose mouth. It's usually from them being tired. You know, we talk about overdoing stuff, you know. I don't think it's directly related to one type of exercise, at least in my experience, because I've messed up some dogs and taken some of the mouth away, or, you know, like that. It don't even have to do with them being too thin, because if you do it right, them thin dogs, they could bite too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the fact that they overwork, they get tired, ain't had enough rest. And where you'll notice you're screwing up is you're working your dog, right? And it takes a certain amount of time for them to break their wind, right? To get past that hump, that wall, or whatever they call it, right? When you're overdoing it, and let's say it takes 15 minutes, right? When you're doing too much, or they too tired, they start getting listless like that. That wall takes about 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And sometimes they don't never recoup from it. They'll have their mouth open, breathing kind of heavy all the way through the workout. And what I speculate when people say they lost their mouth is because they're tired and overdone, they don't close their mouth all the way. They're breathing through their mouth rather than their nose. So they can't shut it like they normally would. And it could be subtle. It could be openly noticeable, you know, but they just don't seem to they lose that ability to go a certain amount of time before they break their first wind. And then, you know, when that happens, they'll recoup on the fly and they get back, close their mouth mostly, you know, when they're doing their work. But if their mouth opens up too quick and they start breathing through their mouth, you better give them more rest, or you better do something, change it up. And like I said, I speculate that's what happens when they say dogs lost their mouth. They ain't biting down hard, even though their mouth is closed. They still breathing through their mouth rather than their nose.
Right.
And that hampers their ability to bite. That's my experience, anyways. And I've screwed some up.
Yes, sir. What about you, Roster Man? Bowen, what's your take on that? Doing too much cardio, can a dog lose mouth, and why?
Well, you know, everything Schoolboy says is true. You know, conditioning is everything about preparing. You know, it's just like when you're cooking a meal. You know what I mean? You put X amount of this in it, X amount of that, and then when you finish with the meal be good. And so you know, you gotta set time limits for what you're doing. You know what I mean? Because too much of anything ain't good for nobody. You know, even the dogs. So you find a pace. You find the whatever you're gonna use to work them on. You find your time, and you write it down. You know what I mean? Okay, if I run an hour doing this, this is the result here. If I run 45 minutes doing this, this is the results here. If I run 30 minutes doing this, you know, whatever it is you're doing, you know, I ain't trying to critique it to one set thing, but I'm just saying whatever you're doing, and this is the result. So when you go down your sheet, you say, oh, I ran an hour and he responded this way. Well, I ran 45 minutes and he responded this way. I ran 30 minutes and he responded this way. So based upon your stats, you know, that's where you want to be, because stats don't lie. You know what I mean? And whatever the results are, you see what I'm saying? You pick and choose what you're looking for. And so it ain't much. You can overwork them out. And, you know, there's things you can do to work them out, and you can overwork it. But you got to be limited in anything you do so that you'll get that performance that you're looking for. I'm through.
Sure. Welcome down, Rad Big Step. What's your take on taking the mouth of a dog with cardio?
Well, I think he might mean because I seen people who get that result overworking them on the meal, and that's because they didn't do no mouth work, or like the OGs just said, you overwork the dog to the point to where it's in a constant like
Breaking up a little bit around.
start eating away.
Hey, Ram, you breaking up, bro?
Could you hear me now?
I think,
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Yeah, I was saying, so the muscle start digest fuel and start digest the muscle for fuel so you can stay alive. So, like OG Bone just said, you could do mouth work, and it's not just because you know, you ran the mouth off the dog, because you can overwork the mouth off a dog too if you do too much mouth work. And now those muscles, you know, require a whole lot more oxygen to stay working, because the mouth is connected to the jaw, and the jaw got a muscle on it, you know, which where you get your hard bite from, some more than others. You know, in conjunction too with the length of the muzzle, but we're not talking about that shit right now. We just talking about running up the mouth off. So you could do it, you know, you gotta be careful. You could overwork the dog, and he just be way too fucking skinny, light, all that shit. Ain't got no power behind him to be able to lay his bite down, or you can overwork his mouth to where the jaws is overdeveloped now, and he might got 3 or 4 good bites in him before his mouth get tired. So it's a yes and no to the answer. You know, you just gotta keep it simple, stupid, and pay attention to what you're doing, bro.
Yes, sir.
Let me add something to that. I'll give a couple of examples. I had 2 dogs. I did it twice. So I had 2 dogs. They had good mouth, right? One of them, I passed the peak a little bit, like a day late, right? And the other one, I just did too much. I didn't give him enough rest. The result was, and here's a point, the result was I lost both of them, but I lost both of them in over 2 hours. One lost in 2:02, the other lost in 2:08. So it ain't that they can't go the distance, is that they ain't closing their mouth like they normally would. And they bit okay, but not like I had seen before. One of them was a 2-time winner. And his first match,
did it affect any of their abilities either, like as far as strength-wise when they got to the wrestling?
Nope. No. In fact, I was winning them for one of them. I was winning for over an hour. The other one, I was winning for an hour and a half. But they just wasn't doing the damage like they normally would. Now you could say it's the opponent, whatever, this and that, but I didn't see it that way. You know, it wasn't like they had.
You know when your dog is biting versus when he not. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. I don't give a fuck what you bring in there. Your motherfucker, right. If your dog got mouth, he gonna get through whatever defense a motherfucker got.
Right. And what I noticed is like when they would take hold, like a shoulder hold, right? And it was a good hold, but it wasn't like grabbing it. You know, you can see a little bit of space in their mouth, and then you can see when they breathe, they're breathing through their mouth on the side.
Right.
Rather than clamp down, and then you can see them breathing through their nose. You can see their nose move a little bit when they're breathing through their nose. They take in air,
tongue flaring out and shit. Like
it just you know, like I said, they were strong, went the distance, you know, went some distance, but they weren't hurting their opponent like they normally would. They still did some damage, but not like, you know. And mine get the jump on them right away. Usually mine come out. And they the first one to take hold, and they did that, but it wasn't doing the damage. And then they just got played out, and they went a long time, but still, you know, it might have made a difference if I hadn't have done that, and they had the mouth that they had. Their opponents were good opponents, but it's just that little bit that they were lacking that could have made a difference in the show, you know.
I want to add something to that. Like when we went against Tito, I used a young bitch. She was 16 months old, but in her schooling, she was biting everything down, which was the drill bit dog. I mean, she tear their head off, their shoulder. I mean, she was biting them down. So that's what I was expecting for her to do when we went to Jersey. I think, yeah, we was in Jersey. But I was working 3 hours a day. And the whole time when it was over, I was trying to figure out, I said, damn, how this motherfucker go from breaking dogs in two to beating the motherfucker up and keeping them off balance. And she gave it up because I just felt like a dog couldn't stay there 30, 40 minutes with her. That's what I felt. And, you know, I give Tito Dog credit. She was there, but she got beat the fuck up the whole time. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the young dog, she didn't have that busting mouth like she did in her school. And then the ones that I did win with her, she bust the motherfuckers out. So I guess I took the mouth out of her working her like I did, because, you know, I ain't gonna lie, you know, I run that bitch 3 hours a day, man. And, you know, I want that, you know, I like a hard body. I don't want no dog soft. If I can touch the muscle and the motherfucking muscle give in, man, that's a soft dog. But a hard mouth dog bite it, it's gonna be like biting a tenderloin. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, like a rare steak, nice and soft.
Yeah, but I want one to be like brick hard. When you stomp that, your finger hurt. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how I like them. I want the son of a bitch to be brick hard, and but anyway, I had to mention that because Schoolboy's right. You can't overdo it, and I guess that was an instance that I overdid, and then I took a young puppy out of it that I shouldn't have took out at that age. I should have waited, but still, she still gave me what I wanted, what I felt like she could do in the end. Go ahead, Kevin.
Hey, it be like that though, cause when I lost the DNA, I ran them out right off my shit. Like I was biting good for about 10 minutes, but fucking them up. But then I ain't had no strength behind that bite. He started body slamming me all over that bitch. So, you know, this shit is what it is. Cause my dog, his mouth, you know, came from him being able to get in there and dig in, and he ain't had no strength to push in there and get in there real good. So we was playing the muzzle and shit. We fucked his muzzle up, but yeah, we still lost. That motherfucker fucked us up. Ran that shit right off of him. Like, God damn, my bad, boy.
Salute to Mr. Kilroy coming through heavy with the 20-piece chicken nugget. Appreciate the support. It says Patreon been fire. Keep it up. Thank you, man. Keep it 100.
Thank you. Thank you. Kilroy was here.
I'm glad he said it, because I don't want people thinking I'm just saying it to get some subscribers to get over there. I'm just like, man, that shit dope. Like, I go back and listen to the shit.
We're more relaxed and open. You know, we feel more comfortable saying what we say. You know,
if the panel will, I'm gonna say Kilroy, and we're gonna say keep it 100. Kilroy, keep it 100.
Keep it 100. Yeah. One other thing too is speaking about that is what I notice is, like I put a dog through the first keep, you know, and then move on to the second, third. The keeps after the first one, I learned to do less work on them than I did for the first one. Yeah. Because what I noticed is they hold that conditioning.
Yeah.
Right. As long as you keep them fit, they stay. Yeah. They stay fit, right? They stay tight. So I seem to do better if you're still doing good work, but maybe the keep ain't as long the second and third as the first one. Yeah. Because they come right into shape, you know, when you start doing them again, they just right on time, right on the program, you know, they start amping up, which is part of it too, their mental capacity, you know, they know what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. So they actually do the work harder. So for me, when they do that, I do less time, not less work, but less time, so they don't get burnt out.
Yeah.
Yep. See, what I would do, what I used to like to do, not what I still do, is I would start instead of like for that second one, instead of starting at week 1, I start at week 3 of the keep, because they already in such good shape. That way they ain't on their
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did similar.
So
you know, if I did an 8-week keep and I started at,
Oh,
if I did an 8-week keep and I started at 2 miles normally, let's say I do a 6-week or a 4-week, I'd start at 5 miles road work. Instead of starting at the beginning, I'd just up it. Start at 5, work up to 8 or 10 miles like that. And then finish them out, you know.
Yes, sir. Salute to Smooth Monty, came through crazy heavy in the super chat.
Oh man,
appreciate you,
Smooth Monty.
Man.
That's my man.
Hold it, fellas. Smooth Monty, keep it 100.
Yes,
keep it 100.
Yes,
he did.
Literally 100.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah.
Salute to Freedom Staff in the super chat coming through with the 5-piece. Appreciate it. He says, your thoughts on Asian dog men and their dogs. Salute. You know, I only knew one Asian dog man, and he's still out here. He's still outside, so I ain't going to say his name. But what about you guys? Any Asian dog men?
I met, what's his name? Floyd. Is that what's his name?
Joe Chan.
Yeah.
Mr. Joe Chan.
Yeah. I met him, man, and it was a pleasure meeting that guy, man. It really was. And back in the day, we used to get a lot of videos. It was which one? Okay, it was Beta and then VHS, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was Beta, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we used to get the Beta tapes, and I used to say, man, you know, think about this. Think about this. You go to a convention, there's 200 motherfuckers there with dogs. And you don't know, you know, you might know one or two or whatever the case may be, or you might not know no damn about it. Man, I used to dream that I could show up somewhere like that. I would have loved to go to China because them guys, they just like us. They put their heart and soul in it. You know, like anybody, not just us, anybody anywhere. They put their hearts and soul in it. So I used to imagine that I could, would have loved to have the opportunity to go to China and do maybe $4-5 and see how it worked out. You know what I mean? And met Joe Chan is some years ago, and I can't remember the damn dog name that he did, but he won, and it looked good, man. I was like, damn, okay. So, but I had heard a lot about him, and then finally got a chance to be in his presence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Joe Chan, good people, real respectable guy. EC, another one. Tito and the Local Boys, Pineapple Kid, Cat and Company, all have Asian descent in them. Buddy of mine named Mike, good kid. There's a lot of different ones. That's what we were talking about the other day. The pit bulls all inclusive now, and they were as good as anybody else,
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let me see. Shout out to my brother Thompson Kennels in the building. What's up, Thompson? Make sure y'all go check out
Thompson
Kennels, man. That's my homie right there.
Brother T.
Let me see here. We got another question we got here is what blood or dog did you have that least what blood or dogs did you have the least luck or success with, and which line will you never touch again, historically speaking? So was it a line that you guys just didn't have no luck with? Start with you, Mr. Garcia.
Not really. It's not so much the line, it's the who you getting the dogs from that what's more important. Like we always say, every bloodline got good and bad in it. There's some I like better because they're more consistent, but even the ones that weren't as consistent, I still had some of their blood in my dog for different reasons. And in that, you know, they had to be, let's say Bully Son stuff, right? It had to be game, the ones I used, or the Rascal, Eli, like that, you know. I basically got it for mouth. It has other attributes, strength and all like that, but that was my way of increasing mouth in my dogs. So even though that wasn't dominant in my dogs, I like to have a little bit of it, but they had to be from reputable sources, good dogs, game too, not just hard mouth, you know, fast like that. And I've seen, you know, it would be like saying I don't like this blood because the ones I seen wasn't no good, but yet other people had that stuff and they did good with it. That's kind of like just the luck of the draw. You didn't get the good ones, you know, or you got one or two and the other ones wasn't no good, where you might get something else and then you got more higher percentage with that stuff, but somebody else is going to come along and say, I tried that junk, it ain't no good, you know. So it's always what the source is, who you getting them from, which ones you use, you know. And you know, back in the day, I kind of made it a rule that if I was going to get dogs from someone else, it had to be somebody not that just bred their dogs, but were competitors too. That made a big difference with me.
Right.
So whether it was Ronald Boyles or Don Frode or PB or, you know, Bobby Hall or, you know, even some Heinzel stuff, it had to come from somebody who was using them dogs to compete with, you know. That's kind of how I did it.
Yes, sir. Jason Doster in the super chat. Appreciate the support, man. Says salute to the great panel. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. 100, Jay. You the man.
What's up to my brother, City Boy Kennels? Hey, City Boy, salute to you. I gotta give you a call, man. I love that girl you gave me, man. She's a lady. I named her the right name. She's a lady. Whoa, she's a lady. Yes, she is. I like her, man. She is.
Hey, look here, man. You might well let us have her too.
Hey, I got plans for her in the future. I ain't even gonna let Doc stick her. That's too much of the same blood. I got some plans for her later on.
That's good. That's good.
She's a nice one though. Let me see here. So brother Rastaman, question goes to you. What blood or dog did you least have? You had least amount of luck or success with, and was there a line that you just couldn't mess with?
Okay, in the early days, you had that mindset that this here ain't good enough, based upon one or two dogs. This ain't good enough. Well, lo and behold, as you get older, you see that those thoughts, could be wrong. As been spoken before, there is good dogs in every line. And then there are some special dogs in every line of great quality, So you learn as you go through 40, 50 years of dog that any line is capable of producing a great dog, but as Schoolboy said, the source and where you get them from makes the difference. See, if you got somebody that's stuck on quality, then you'll be dealing with that. But if you somebody else is doing anything they can do, that's different. So yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. What's up, Brown Sugar? Tay is in the building. How you doing today, beautiful?
Tay.
What?
Tay, y'all, and the answer is, come on, Schoolboy, where you at, man? Somebody done gave Schoolboy some liquor today.
Tay, I'm slow. Tay, keep it 100.
There you go. Boy, wake up, brother.
What's up?
I'm behind today.
Ram, is there any bloodline that you had didn't have no success with, and you just wouldn't mess with?
Shit, I ain't have no luck with the Earl Jr. shit, man, at all. All them hoes ended up right in the curb pile. And like Schoolboy was saying, that's just the luck of the draw. Cause the reason I got them, because everybody was doing good at the time with them motherfuckers. I was like, let me see if I could too. So it's just the luck of the draw. I don't knock the dogs. It's just, it's what I get. I felt the same about Frisco dogs too, till I seen the good ones. When you see the good ones, you see why people love them dogs. So it's in any bloodline I feed, because like Rosterman just said, is fucking great dogs in every fucking bloodline, and that's why I competed with just different families of dogs, because I'm a firm believer of that. So dogs is more of a person I wouldn't get a dog from as opposed to a bloodline. Some motherfuckers can't breed they way out of shoebox, bro.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's like
who you get it from and what they doing with it,
Yeah, did they do a thorough inspection of this before they start selling it? Because that's the issue. Because you can get the same blood. Trust me, I learned the hard way. I used to think Turtle Buster and Alligator dogs was ass. I never respected them. I shitted all over those dogs because in my area, the people I knew who had them didn't have no standards. They was just ass dogs. And then you go out of state and somebody slap you the fuck up with some of that same shit. You're like, what the fuck? How did this happen? It just depends on what kind of dog man you around and what they doing, what they stock. You know what I mean? How thoroughly are they checking it? You know what I mean? Let's see here.
Exactly.
How to deworm your pregnant females, Mr. Garcia?
I just worm regular. I guess their last what I would call their last deworming was about 2 weeks before they whelped the pups. And back in the day, a lot of people didn't like to do that because they thought it might affect her or might affect the pups or something like that. And those chemicals back then might have, but as time went on, it's safer and there's instructions how to do it. And, I never had a problem with it. I did it like I would normally deworm my dogs anyways. But about 2 weeks out would be their last deworming until the pups are born. And then about 2 weeks after they were born, I dewormed her and them too, It had a little looked like a chocolate colored or chocolate flavored dewormer for pups, and it cleaned them right out, So just make sure the product is safe. Research if you can give it to pregnant females. Most of it you can now, and you shouldn't have a problem with it.
Okay, Roster man, you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. You worm them before you breed them, and then after you breed them, you use a mouth wormer, and as you go through the process of raising the pups and her raising them, you just use mild warmer. I wouldn't use nothing real strong. I just use some mild stuff. Maybe is that stuff called Demonstra's Earth? You know what I'm saying? And you use a down mattress, something. Yeah. Something mild that really ain't gonna affect them chemically.
Right. Jason Dosser in the super chat, appreciate the support. He says, I got a question for Mr. Ram. What made him want to get the real REDBOY JOCKO dogs, and does he like termite or yellow stuff more?
Shit, just competing. Fucking wherever the good dogs was, that's where we was at with some money. So motherfuckers had good dogs for sale. We had money to buy some good dogs, Like I just literally said, I compete with any bloodline. I just fell in love with them and started studying more of JOCKO and shit, and start learning the traits, because when you get some good shit, you want to know everything about it. As far as termite go, hell yeah, my fucking shit came down from termite, through a dog lockjaw kennels bred named Booger. Rom dog, you know. I had grandkids a booger, so I had the termite in there too with my Red Boy JOCKO shit. The only stuff I really didn't like was the Tant AAA stuff, and the only reason I didn't like it because it was too much of the hybrid. I like my shit lean more towards the JOCKO traits because there's a little bit more heavier dog, a little thicker coat, a whole lot more mouth, a lot more finish, a lot more mean. The ones that distributed that JOCKO trait, just in my opinion. And when I say the JOCKO trait, I mean all the way down to the one floppy ear, like goddamn modern day JOCKO dogs, but better than JOCKO was because the breedings was better, you know. But yeah, shit, I fucking like anything that's good. I'll take an old family red dog back then if that motherfucker was working. Shit, I don't give a fuck.
Right, right. Yes, sir. All right. Another question. What does why does Red Boy dogs seem to go well with everything? Is it the COLBY, Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, I would say, you know, most of the Red Boy stuff was inbred. So when you inbreed like that, you know, I talk about all the detriments. I don't like people inbreeding too much, this and that. Some bloodlines you can inbreed more than others. Some bloodlines, you know, you have very low percentage of inbreeding, but you can make inbreedings that work. You can make them work. You might have, even if you do it real heavy, you might have less good dogs out of it, but you can still have good dogs. The benefits of it is when you inbreed like the Red Boy dogs were, the traits are so concentrated, right, that they don't only resemble each other in build and structure and temperament, all that stuff, but the ability and their style and all that, they become more the norm, right? Like whatever attributes you see in Red Boy dogs, that gameness and their high intensity or however they fight or whatever, when you inbreed on traits, if you do it right, those good qualities will come out. So they're holding a lot of blood, and when dogs are inbreed like that, especially when you cross them, you're going to get something. That's why you see like Red Boy goes good with this and that, and Eli and JOCKO and whatever, right? Carver and all this stuff. It's because of that. The genes are so concentrated that that's what's going to come out when you make a breeding, right? And if it's a hybrid, like a cross or loose line bred or something like that, they're not only going to come out, but they're going to be enhanced, meaning they're going to bite harder. They're going to be a little bit faster. If they're fast, they're going to be a little bit stronger. You know, they're going to be better wrestlers, whatever the traits are. That's the benefit of inbreeding. For me, inbreeding is a catalyst to concentrate the traits in my family of dogs and to use as a cross for hybrid vigor and ability and talent and all that stuff. So I hope that answered the question.
Yes, sir. What's your take on it, Roster Man? Why Red Boy dogs go well with everything?
Butch Fox told me years ago before he died. He said, "Your best comeback dog will be an outcross, but you want to do it with two inbred dogs. So if you got inbred Red Boy dog and cross it with inbred or whatever, you know, you're gonna get a comeback dog. That's you know, all of them may not be that special, but there's gonna be some in there, and then you might have more than one. You might have 4, 5. You know, you might have 3. You might have 2. No matter what, but you're gonna have a comeback dog. And so, you know, that's what, you know, we stay with. But I remember back when I was moving away from from everything. And a bunch of guys made sure I put dogs in the hand. And they were doing this, doing that, and you know, and I don't know. Some of the dogs came out okay, some of them wasn't. But my thing is you take 2 lines that's inbred, and you keep them off. But if you take a inbred line of dogs, and then you keep one, and you get rid of all of them, yeah, most of the time you don't even see the people that you got. Most of the time you don't even see the people you got rid of all of them to even know what your percentages are. So so I would, if I was breeding today, I would recommend I take 2 lines that's inbred like hell, and put them together and just keep every damn one of them. And then you will know what your percentages are because you got them all. But if you ain't got them all in your circle, then it'll be hard to say what the statistics are going to be.
Yes, sir. Walking down around Big Stephen, what's your take on the Red Boy dogs and why they seem to go good with everything?
Well, I think because this is gotta be the COLBY in it, and most dogs got COLBY in the background, so you just pulling it up to the front, and you just bringing the good traits back in there. If you got some good shit, you breeding on. And that's if Red Boy pedigree is true. If not, then shit is just the way the game goes. But Red Boy do cross with a lot of good shit, man. I like the Red Boy Boils cross. The Red Boy Bolio 50-50 cross was a hell of a cross. I haven't had the 50-50 Red Boy Alligator shit, and that was the remake of the old school Dime DIBO shit right there. And the bitch we had was a monster, ace to the face. Rearrange your whole motherfucking case, bro. Like, no cap, nigga. Good dogs, and just seeing how it was bred, the average motherfucker wouldn't have took that shit. But just because I'm a fucking dog man extraordinaire, I was like, hell yeah. Give me 2 of them, please. The only thing I did like, they were just too big, But there was some good big motherfuckers, whole litter panned out, from what I heard. But yeah, Red Boy, you get some good Red Boy, it's all right to cross it, because like Boone was saying, you'll run out of room. You fucking keep breeding on the same line. So just if you do fucking want to make that cross, get it from some working shit. That's the best I could tell you. Cause I seen Red Boy Eli crosses, which on paper look dumb as hell, but you look at the dog and be like, God damn, this a motherfucking. I ain't talking about no sucker ass pepper shit. I'm talking about the real shit. You dig?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let me go to another question we got here. This is a funny question. It says, question for the panel. If a man tells you he has pure Wallace strain Old Family Red-Nosed dogs in 2023, is that man a damn liar? He said he has Old Family Red-Nosed papers. Mr. Garcia, what's your take?
Well, I don't think anybody, even when Wallace was alive, besides Wallace, had any pure Wallace dogs. He really didn't let his dogs out, and some people got it, But in today's time, it's so far removed from that. I don't, this is just my personal opinion because I don't have any experience with it. But you wouldn't have had enough dogs to keep them pure from the 1950s to today, right? They'd have been so played out and so inbred, and so you'd have killed them just health-wise, So, and because he didn't have a lot of dogs, he didn't let a lot of dogs out. When he died, he had strict rules that his dogs be destroyed. So unless somebody had them before he died, which they might have had a few, then they had Wallace dogs. But other than that, nah. I think it would be impossible for somebody to have pure Wallace dogs, you know.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was laughing at it. I was like, man, you know, it's definitely people who got some good dogs or rare bloodlines and shit like that, because everybody don't use Pets Online. I don't know why everybody think Pets Online is the end all be all. Like that's like the dog registry or some shit. It's not. It's like 25% of dog men even use Pets Online. Nobody uses that shit in real life, bro. Like every time you meet somebody in real life and ask them about Pets Online, they just like, they don't even know what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? And they got a yard full of dogs. Like the only people who know what that is people on the internet. But they act like that's the Bible or some shit. But I don't believe nobody got no pure Wallace dogs for the same reason Schoolboy just gave. You would have to. The only way you would have those dogs is if you actually didn't destroy his yard. You secretly kept them or some shit. And even then, how would you keep that secret for all these years? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, what would you get from 5 dogs, 10 dogs?
Right.
Like I said, he didn't have that many anyways. He never did. You know, that's why the few that we speak of that were great dogs, you know, that encompasses what his whole yard was built on and what he had and all that. You know, it wasn't like some of them guys back then had 200 dogs or 100 dogs or 50 dogs, you know. Right. You know,
plus
he had maybe a handful
to put them all down when he died.
Yeah, that's what I understand. Yeah, same thing with Komasinski.
Yep.
You know,
they both had small yards, probably like 30 dogs a piece or something like that.
Yeah, maybe Komasinski had more, you know, but as he was getting older, he probably had less and less, and different people got him. You know, Ozzie Stevens and Roca and all that before he died. His blood was out there. But Wallace didn't even have, according to what my research shows, he didn't have that many to be given dogs here and there, you know. His yard was closed for the most part, unless you were his friend, you know. But that's what I'm saying. There wouldn't be enough dogs if you got his whole yard for you to keep them pure for 80 years, you know.
Outcross them somewhere.
It's some.
Yeah, it gotta have it, because even the Colbys would do outcross, you know.
Yeah, and Colby had a lot of shit. Colby had a lot of dogs, you know, and he put a lot of dogs out there. He sent them all over the world. You know, Wallace wasn't like that. You know, Colby, even if he sent dogs here and there, you know, he could go to some of his friends. He could go to Tudor. He could go to Heisenberg. He could go to a lot of different people, and breed to one of their dogs that had his blood in it, you know. But I don't think that was the case with Wallace. There wasn't enough of them, you know? And they were good dogs, man. That's probably why people wanted them, you know. And he was competitive in his time, all that. He didn't have the numbers, you know.
Yeah.
That's a selective breeding, hard-colored motherfucker. If he did, just for the off chance say he did really have them and kept them like that, and the motherfuckers would be born inside out and fucked up more often than not. So he would have to do a lot of fucking coloring and shit. Like, I mean,
well, you know, the smart thing would be the smart thing to do is take somebody's blood, right? You throw your crosses in there, do your line breeding, your inbreeding, add new blood, go back to that original blood, keep doing that over and over. And the foundation will always be there, even though there's different bloodlines and different families of dogs, you know. You're going to see some commonality. Some are going to be more heavy on your side. Some are going to be more on the other side. But you can keep your blood in there forever. It's just not going to be that concentrated that way.
Mm-hmm.
What you can continue with is the traits of the dogs. You can continue through your breeding process of keeping the traits that your family has, which would be the same as another family. Let's say your dogs are known for being stifled. Let's say you have JOCKO dogs. They're known for being stifled dogs. You can breed Eli dogs that are stifled dogs, even though they're not related, close. They have commonality in the back, right? And you can use those two bloods, mix them together however you want, and you can keep that stifled trait, even though they're not heavily related. from the beginning, right? But the traits themselves are still there. You can have a whole shitload of stifle dogs because they have that commonality within them, and you're just matching up style to style like that. And you know, that's why I frown on that purity, that pure this, pure that. You better off going dog for dog, keeping the traits you like, regardless of how the dog is bred, regardless of what bloodline it is. And you can keep your foundation in there, you know, as time goes on. It's not so heavy bred, it's not so inbred or whatever like that, but it's there. And they share common traits, and you can keep that going forever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rasta Man Boom, what's your thoughts on that? If somebody told you today they had some pure Wallace dogs.
Dreams are sunshine. Got spinning around. All I got to say. Hey, you can move on.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
All right, we're going back. I know Ram's going to say the same thing. We're going to pack it in. Let's move over here. This question is for Rasta Man. It says, I know Rasta Man is a big fan of the Zebo dogs, but why do people say Zebo didn't produce good dogs? Rasta Man, let you take that one.
Well, you know, yeah, they said Arnold Schwarzenegger had sex with the maid, and they didn't think that was going to produce, but his son is a hell of a weightlifter. I'm going to leave it like that.
Big facts.
Schoolboy, what's your thoughts on Zebo being a producer?
Yeah, well, I've been saying this for years and years, man, that you know, it comes from different articles and this and that, and basically it comes from people saying using inbred Zebo dogs as an example. And Carver said this, Tudor said it. You can't inbreed DIBO dogs and have high performance. Now, I'm not saying there ain't some that were or are, but they're not going to be consistently good that way. You can line breed them, loose line breed them, cross them like that. And Barney Fife actually wrote the article that he had problems, and that's all he was explaining. When you inbreed them, they lose their air and this and that, too tight, it's not good, right? But he also said they were some of the baddest dogs he's seen, high performance dogs. And he even wrote an article after he wrote that one to clarify all what he said. And people still ran with that. Or they go with the Lonzo stuff. Heavily inbred, they lose performance like that. That's with anything, just about. Any bloodline, you're going to do that. So they picking on Zebo, in my opinion, because he produced some of the baddest dogs in the South, the baddest dogs in the North. A lot of people used them. And I mentioned this before. His son Willie, Champion Willie, beat the Dagels, Cajun country, right? After they lost, they said anybody has a 48-pound dog, you switch his weight to 46. Don't go into Willie because he'll kill you. Ruby the same way, his daughter, right? There's a bunch of them. Champion, I forgot that one dog. A ton of them. So if you go down, well, who used them? We know Rasta Man used them. He likes them, right? And with good reason. So you got Dave Adams, Frank Roca, Bobby Love. You got Matt McGee.
Yep.
You got Super Nat, one of the best ever. Jim Stinson had a whole yard of them. So you have all these people using them, top guys using it. How is it not producing? Why would they use it if it's not if Zebo wasn't producing?
How the fuck do you become Rom and you ain't producing?
Exactly.
That was gonna be my argument. How the fuck is you a Rom dog and you not producing? Even if you just produce 4 champs, that's hard as fuck to do. Even to this day standard, it's hard to produce 4 champs from one dog. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And one thing I would do, like you were saying, that Peds on lawn ain't the be all end all and all that, right? And the people that put the peds up, they ain't the ones that own the dog usually.
Right.
But if you use that as a measure, just go on there and see how many offspring Zebo produced that they have on record.
Right.
Right. So if it's 100 offspring, that means he was bred maybe 10 times. That ain't that much. It ain't hundreds of times like these people talk. Jeep wasn't bred hundreds of times. DIBO wasn't bred hundreds of times. He probably got 8 or 10 breedings. That's it. It's old. And the breed is, most of it is based on DIBO. So people get it in their head, well, they bred them a whole shitload of times. That's how they made ROM, or they produced these champions. Not really. Not really. It's just a handful, really. But and a lot of the Zebo dogs, you know, they weren't telling people they Zebo dogs or they sired by Zebo. So there's a lot of those. Z-Boy and you know, Champion Nipper was another badass bitch. You know, there's tons of them in terms of people that used it, even though the numbers ain't in the hundreds of Zebo dogs that were produced. They ain't, you know, you hardly get that with any dog, you know. And the ones that were bred a lot, like you say, Jeep bred a bunch, you know, but not 150 dogs or whatever, 300 times what somebody said. Bullshit. Maybe 60, 70 times. Or Mayday or Bolio, like that.
Right.
Yeah, they were bred a lot, but it ain't, the numbers ain't there to say, oh, well, they bred the shit out of them and that's why they became ROM. Nah, most of them wasn't.
Hell no, if that was the case, you could breed that cur you just fucking took home after he lost last night. Breed that motherfucker fucking 20 times then and see what you get, if it's that easy.
Yeah.
And a lot of the offspring on Pets Online, a lot of that offspring on them dogs is the same fucking dog, but under different names, but different owners and shit. And it just,
not only that, they repeat the same offspring and it's counted in the numbers.
Right.
It's like Big Red, right? By my count, Big Red had 169 offspring, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of offspring. Peds Online has like 180 or something, or 190 or something, or 200. It ain't that because the same dog's name appears and they count those as a different dog. It ain't. They got Bill in there 3-4 times, you know. So, you know, you got to really look at what you're looking at to come out with the facts. You know, and I've always hated that Zebo got that bad rap because he doesn't deserve it. You know, and did he reproduce himself? I don't know, but I know some of them dogs. People say they killers, they crush heads and shit. So that's good enough for me.
A lot of people
let Rasta Man tell it. Tell him, Rasta Man.
A lot of people don't understand what they're looking at. Even when they trying to check a dog, even when they see a match, even when they're amongst people, even when they're in the classroom, even when they're out in a social gathering, they don't understand what they're looking at. So now you expect for a motherfucker to understand something about a legendary dog that has done work that a lot of people wish they could do. So we've never worried about what people ever thought about these people, because ain't nothing nobody can say or do or change the way I feel about them. Because like I said, I had a yard, I had 40 of them. When I finished with them, I had 6 left. And them damn 6 would bite and scratch all fucking day long. So to me, Zebo was a great dog. Because what I got down off them dogs, we got Lady Stone Daddy, we got Lady Stone uncles. We got a lot of great dogs down there. Miss Payne, JP, let's see, who else? Kush, True. Man, I could just go on, my mind get blocked up sometimes. Sheba. Okay, that's when I met Mr. Chavez. He seen that bitch. He said, God damn. You know, old man Chavez. I'm talking about the father. I ain't talking about the son. And when he seen her, he was like, how's that dog breed? You know what I mean? But, you know, and I ain't the only one. There's a lot of people that had Zebo dogs and still got them today. But, you know, a lot of times people don't tell everybody. See, you got to remember, back in the day, a lot of times people wouldn't even tell you how the dog really was bred because they didn't want you to know. Because if they told you, then you gonna go get what they doing. So they'll tell you any damn thing to keep you from it. And they still do that shit today. But Red Boy across with any of them. I cross my Red Boy stuff with my Zebo dogs. I got dogs could bite out of hell, man. I mean, you know what I mean? So, you know, I love the family. And I would advise anybody that if you love dogs, man, for as far as a family dog and kids and all that, Zebo dogs is one of the best, man.
Yeah, they even use some of the blood in Mexico, you know,
Yeah.
cross with the Eli stuff. So,
hell yeah,
you know,
that T-Bud shit is still prevalent right now down there, working
Yeah,
like a motherfucker.
yeah, the Cardenas and, you know, other people, Don,
Yeah,
Dr. Don
Espinosa,
Morlock,
the
and
Eli strain got it in there.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. You just gotta, you know, recognize what works. So, yeah, that rumor probably will never end, but anytime it comes up, I'm gonna defend Zebo.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, hell yeah. Because all you gotta do is just find some old interviews Mr. Hughes did, man, and he'll tell you it was a whole bunch of fucking dogs off of Zebo that didn't get reported. Champs, grand champs, like if everybody was to come out and put their shit up, Zebo would go down as one of the best producers just from seeing what he produced in a fucking handful of breedings.
But
Yeah.
see, what Zebo did is, see, and another thing what people have to understand, Zebo fought dogs that was bigger than him.
Yup.
He did, you know, like most guys, somebody say, oh, well, he 4 pounds over. They run. They got haul ass home. I'm talking about getting wheels going on. No, give me the foot. I remember we was at a match and the man was a damn 1/4 pound over. This back in the day. The man took off, ran and fed the dog, come back and said, I ain't fighting. I said, yo, man, what the hell you doing? I said, man, goddamn, it ain't but a 1/4 pound. Man, what? Are you serious? And I was so damn mad. I was mad because the man was just a 1/4 pound over. Hell, I done went up here 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 2 pounds. And I done went up here 8 pounds and still won. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say everybody else could do that, but I'm just saying what I have done, you know? And so, you know, like one thing about me back in the day, when we get to the dance, let's dance, motherfucker. Hey, ain't but what? Hey, let's dance.
Yeah.
Hey, schoolboy,
Yeah.
keep it what?
Keep it 100.
Hey, you got it.
That's true. Yeah, no, it's just, you know, if you at that level, you're gonna take the fork, but you're gonna do it. You know.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, everybody I knew, yeah, they would do it. You know, 1/2 pound. They might say something. Yeah, they a pound over. I've seen Vince do that more than a few times. You know, he would tell people, yeah, that my opponent's a pound over, but we're gonna do it anyways. Yeah, I do the same thing, man. That's what you're there for. You know,
What I used to do when a motherfucker come in over, if I ain't just take the forfeit, I'd give him 30 minutes to work his shit. And you just have him go out there, bird his dog out. When you bring him back in nice and tired, you got the forfeit, you beat him up with an easy win. You know? That's if they went for it, because, you know, motherfucker, go out there, work that motherfucker. Here go a bike, you know, get him down in 30 minutes and we'll do it. I know in 30 minutes he ain't gonna be on weight, so I'm gonna get the forfeit in and tired dog ass to whoop. But 4 pounds, that's kind of disrespectful. We coming in 4 pounds over. Like at that point, we should have some type of rule like you gotta pay $100 an ounce for if you over a fucking pound. Like, come on now, man.
Hey, but see, and see that drive, that energy. Like I said, when you get to the dance, that energy is like no other, man. It's like meeting that girl for the first time.
Yeah, you get that anticipation feeling, man. Don't get me wrong. Like with champion Mr. Hanky, he went in all bigger dogs, you know. And it was a bitch. He won his own gameness, even though he had, you know, them classic Eli attributes. But just when we got there, we like, fuck it, let's go, motherfucker. We kill that big motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was speaking one show I was talking about my True Dog. But we knew True could bite like a motherfucker. I just felt like no dog his size could mouth for mouth stay with him. Man, that big motherfucker hit him in the chest. I said, God damn.
A whole different ball game. Like, God damn, I'm in here with a heavyweight. Wait a minute.
He lifted his whole back end up off the floor with it in his chest. I said, good God Almighty. Boy, I don't know about this one. Man, I got to talking. Boy, he true got a mouth full of his head. I'm talking about I bit that bitch in the head. Boy, he let him go. I said, we got there.
Turn me loose, goddammit. Let me.
And from
like,
there,
oh, wait a minute, this motherfucker hurting.
The smaller dog had some, and you know, I done had a couple of dogs mixed up with the family, but they come out. Some have big heads, big wide heads. Then some have a little old pin head. So the motherfuckers, you know, they look like this little pin head motherfucker. That son of a bitch packed a hard punch too, buddy. I'll tell you. But yeah, move on, Cap. Move on.
Hey, salute to Soul Power, aka Gamed Up Kennels, in the building with that super chat with the 10-piece chicken nugget. Appreciate the support. He says, hell, Will Chamberlain smashed 30,000 women. To my knowledge, none of his offspring are in the NBA. Seems like Zebo had a good numbers to me. Hey,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna say this: Will Chamberlain a goddamn liar. That nigga ain't smashing no 30,000 bitches. Not without his dick falling off and catching something. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Look here, bro. I'm outside. I'm in the streets. I done fucked every scallywag it is. I done did stupid shit, and even me with all the stupid shit I done, I done probably went through 300. You know what I'm saying? Now, Will Chamberlain, a basketball player, let's give him a couple thousand. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way. 30,000. You know how much fucking you gotta do to fuck 30,000 bitches, man?
Hey, but hold it, Cap. All you gotta do is fuck for a minute.
Man.
30,000 minutes, goddammit.
Yeah, you fuck for 1 minute. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I ain't buying it.
He'd have to
I
have
got a
lined
whole
up
bunch of
down
numbers.
the
My
street.
numbers is in the thought range, and I ain't even maybe 1,000, and that's just from being a fly ass doughboy to a rap nigga and all that shit that come with it. You know, I might have broke 1,000 bitches.
And Ram, half them bitches you really don't even be fucking. Like, look, how many times you feeling good, you go home from the club with 2-3 bitches, you only really fucking one, and then you know what I'm saying, the other one suck your dick or something. Man,
Yeah, the other ones be playing with each other. I might hump on each one about, get each one a 2-minute motherfucker, but it's one I'm just pounding on, you know.
You just count. You count them 3. You tell your homeboy, yeah, I smashed them 3 hoes.
Yeah, ran them down, boy.
Yeah, man, the 30,000, that's too much, man. Ain't no goddamn way, man.
I don't even think a horny motherfucker got 30,000 nuts in his whole life. You couldn't even bust that many nuts, man.
I'm gonna tell you something. It's one motherfucker that's in the NBA right now. I think that's Will Chamberlain's son. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That motherfucker used to play for the Warriors last year. What's his name? Not Poole. I forgot his fucking name, man. That motherfucker looked just like a young Will Chamberlain. He played for the Warriors. I forgot his name.
What position he play?
I think he like a forward or something.
He's like a tall forward. I'm picturing who you talking about. Like, he do look like motherfucking Will. The old school mustache and goatee hookup.
I'm gonna find that motherfucker name, man.
Find it, yeah.
I'm gonna find his name. That motherfucker look like goddamn Will Chamberlain. Somebody in the chat might know. Somebody in the chat might know that motherfucker name. I'm gonna text my boy real quick, find out what that motherfucker name is.
Hey, facts, Thompson, 30,000. That's a city, bro.
That's a
whole city of women.
Hey, that's several towns.
Hell yeah. They ran through the towns like a tornado.
I'm gonna call my homeboy real quick.
The math don't add up.
Yeah, the math ain't mathing, you know.
30,000 too much, man. Let me see here. Let me call my boy real quick.
Now I can see 3,000, you know.
Hey, like I said on the other question, dreams are sunshine. You know what I mean?
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Hey, bro, I'm live right now. My bad, I got you live. I'm gonna what's dude name who used to play for the Warriors? Who I said looked like Will Chamberlain's son?
Otto Porter Jr.
Otto Porter Jr. Okay, I'm gonna get a picture of that nigga real quick. All right, thanks, bro.
Otto Porter.
Yeah, that's Will Chamberlain Jr.
I'm finna get a picture.
Yeah, or Otto Porter ain't his daddy. He might need a DNA test on that, bro.
I'm gonna pull him up. I'm gonna pull his ass up right now. That motherfucker Will Chamberlain, the third out this motherfucker, some shit.
With the old school sky hook and shit.
Oh yeah, damn! Somebody! I ain't the only one who think that. I just looked it up. Somebody else got a picture of him and Will next to each other. I'm finna pull it up right now. Hold on a second, y'all. Here we go. I'm finna put this mug on the screen. You tell me this ain't Whip Boy. This is Whip Boy. Here we go. Here we go. That's him.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Hey, but Cal, you know what though? To make a statement on this is all of us got somebody damn near look like us somewhere, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But not that much. Like, my son look dead on me because that's my son. I look like my pops because I'm his son.
Right.
That nigga look like Wilt's son, bro. Either that's fucking a clone of Wilt or that's that nigga son for real. Somebody lying. That ain't his name ain't Chamberlain Jr., then somebody lying.
Yeah, Wilt been out here smashing the gas, man.
Smashing on somebody mama.
Yeah, old Otto Porter Jr. That's his name. I knew I couldn't remember his name or something, but all right, let's get to it. Get right back to it now, y'all. Another question we got here is the brother says, sorry if this sounds like a stupid question. When breeding, can a litter of pups take on different traits from both mother and father ancestors? Like one pup is like the father's mother and another like the mother's grandfather. If so, is that why breeding best to best is the rule, Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, they can do all that. They can take after parents, grandparents, one side, the other side can take after mama, daddy. Females can take after their dad, males after their mama. All that. That's why it's important to know the traits not only of your dog, but as many of their ancestors that you can. Right? And when you breed, you breed the dogs you like. What do you like about them? Why are you breeding them? That's part of it. As far as the best to best part, you know, you should always breed best to best, no matter how the dog is bred. You know, that best to best comes from, you know, you only breed, let's say, champions or grand champions or performance dogs or whatever. You know, you can do that too. You know, there's no set way to breed. There's no set rule. But as far as how the question is that why you breed best to best? No, that ain't why. You know, you breed best to best because that's the best way to do it, regardless of how the dogs are bred. It doesn't have to be they're the best performer or the best this and that. You want high performance, you know, but the traits could come from anywhere, you know, and that's why you got to follow them and you put the dogs together that have the traits you like, and they should be the best ones, you know, in the litter or the best ones you have. You know, one of the reasons you breed, let's say you breed litter mates, right? You want, that's how you find out which one, at least in those breedings that you did with the litter mates, which one produces the best. So what I would do, like I have 2 sisters in the litter, or even 3, I'd breed them to the same male. And then whichever ones I like the best out of that, that's what I continue with. If I like both of them, I use both of them or all 3 of them, pups from those litters, you know. and you got to make different breedings to find out which ones are more consistent, which ones throw the traits you like. You know, you got to kind of, that's why I always say you make the dogs you want, because when you start talking about breeding, you know, people say, well, this could happen, that could happen, this could happen. What about this and what about that? And they don't all produce the same. And this one may not produce, and this one, he may be better than his brother, even though his brother's a better athlete. His other brother's a better producer, and the traits are coming from all this stuff, right? So you got to take all that into account and stick with what you like. Stick with what's proving to work for you. And if it's the grand champion in the litter that can throw, use him. If it's his brother who's a champion, use him. If it's a brother that wasn't competed with, use him. But the only way to find out which one it is to make the breedings and see. But I found that the best performers, at least in my case and throughout history, generally throw the best dogs because they came from performers, and those dogs came from performers. That's how you stack it up. And some of them, you know, they're going to be dogs you didn't compete with, or they're dogs that are just game or just have hard, whatever, you know, that happens. But when you start putting all your dogs together and you deciding which ones you like, and then you use the ones that you like that produced, then you're going to have consistency. That's the best way to go about it for me anyway, and other people too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, my brother Eli Zachary in the building? What do Eli? Salute.
Eli Maximum.
What's your thoughts on the Ram? What we just talked about as far as the traits. Let me read the
Shit,
question.
I gotta agree with Schoolboy, man. And I say that was one of the reasons why I would fucking be real picky on the dogs when we was selecting them. Like, I want dogs at least off a one-time winner who are at least off a winner themselves, if not winners, then producers, all the way up until the fourth. At least majority of the dogs is winner or losers in the pedigrees that I'll be showing y'all. That some of my dogs are the ones I had. Like, and I meant that shit, you know, performers breed performers. So sticking to that script and just coming up, you know, not having no mentor in the dogs and just studying the dogs myself. When I would make breedings, I would see that, okay, this motherfucker, he looking like his grandpa, you know, he looking like his great grandpa. So I would start figuring it's better to have, you know, good dogs back there in case you do fucking breed and you get a throwback dog. I would rather it be fucking Mayday Mama Dolly and as opposed to a motherfucking Jim Bob's fucking Pinky, who ain't never did shit but eat dog food and tear up her dog house. You know, I wouldn't want to throw back of that. I would much rather, you know, have Mayday Mama because she produced like a motherfucker. And just using that as an example. So yeah, that shit happens, and it happens periodically in the game. You'll get a whole throwback litter. You be like, what the fuck? So if that do happen to you and you get a throwback litter, you will want the heavy hitters, you know, back there as opposed to the bullshitters. Because if you got a whole bunch of bullshitters, you might as well fucking start your culling off, you know. But if you get some throwbacks with some good motherfuckers, then you winning. You know, you could keep the game moving forward, bro.
You're right, Ram. You don't want the throwbacks to be junk because that's what they're gonna throw back too.
That's right.
You know, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, throw back to the fucking curve. And that's why, you know, people don't breed curves, because the motherfuckers will pop out. Might not be the next generation or the generation after that, but his cur ass gonna show back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was oh no, never mind. I'm sorry. I can't say that on here. I said this way. It was a guy I know who did a breeding, and all of his dogs were head dogs, real good head dogs. And one of the puppies from one of his litters came out, and he assumed it would be a head dog too. But the guy who got the dog, it ended up being a rear end dog, a real good rear end dog. And he didn't understand why. But when you looked at the dog and you looked at the pedigrees, it was a split image throwback of a dog in the pedigree there was a
A stifle dog. Yeah. Probably a monster too. He showed back up.
Yeah. I was like, Ram, you know what I'm talking about. I'll tell you later. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. So like how the pedigrees and shit work, how a dog can go. Let me go to Roster Man. Let me repeat the question for Roster Man. He says, sorry if this sounds like a stupid question. When breeding, can a litter of pups take on different traits from both mother and father ancestors? Like one pup is like the father's mother and another like the mother's grandfather. If so, is that why breeding best to best is the rule? Rasta Man.
Yeah, yes, man. It's just like even with humans, when we have babies, babies take on characteristics of our ancestors. You know what I mean? And we are characteristics of ancestors. So when you're breeding the animals, it's the same thing. You're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? And but you got to be able, like I said, keep them all and be able to see who, what's what. And as you continue to breed, you'll continue to see who's who, what's what. And you decide from that, who stay and who go.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, chat, man. We coming to that time of the show, man. If y'all got any questions, it's y'all time to ask while we in that mood, man, before we get up out of here. Y'all got any questions y'all want to ask us?
The homie B. Crive say, what bloodline? Hold on, let me go back to it. What bloodline produces the most consistent traits, personal preferences aside? Shit, it really ain't no just specific bloodline, because we had wild side dogs back in the day, and the motherfuckers were some of the best dogs in the state, and we were proving it with them. So it really ain't no bloodline that's the best. It's motherfuckers. When it get down to that, it's the man behind the dogs that's the best. The camp behind them. The motherfucker behind whatever bloodline he's standing on know what the fuck he doing with what he got. And that's just the nitty gritty of it. Because if it was just one fucking bloodline that was always consistent, everybody on here would have it, and the game would be boring as fuck.
And even then, it wouldn't be the same bloodline because it'd be different strains of it and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And it needs, like we was just saying, alluding to each strain, even though it might be heavy on, say, Boyle's Bolio, them dogs might be throwing straight Eli style dogs, that fight like Eli and everything. Just because the pedigree says fucking line bred Boyles, it still got something else in there that it could key in on. No different than the Frisco dogs I fucking got now, crossed with the Maverick shit. You see the pedigree, you'll think Wrecking Ball. But they don't fucking go like that, The motherfucker was more slick, and that just because the sire tuned in on some of the traits that was in the dog in there off of Frisco named Tuffy. Not off of Frisco, but that made Frisco. Right. Look like Tuffy, fight like Tuffy and everything. And Tuffy don't appear prominent in the pedigree. It's just her traits is prominent in this dog out of the litter because his litter mate, he fought like how the pedigree looked, a straight wrecking ball. But this one dance and move around and fucking can counter punch and all the good shit you like in a Bolio dog, but just in the Eli body, But they look like Tuffy everything, black with the white on them, like them is Tuffy dogs. You can't tell me. But it's just the phenotype that they honed in on out of all the dogs in the pedigree, top and bottom. The sire of these dogs just honed in on that style. And that's a bad motherfucker.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yeah, I got
you make your own consistency. That would be the best way to, if you're looking for dogs, back in the day, you go see them, decide what you like, and then you're going to acquire those dogs. And then to your breedings, you keep the traits that you like. Let's say you get a dog and it doesn't represent those traits, doesn't exhibit those traits, but it's a game dog. That don't mean you have to breed him, because he could throw those traits because they're in there, right? But to keep the consistency, you want to use the dogs from generation to generation that have the traits you like. That's where people get mixed up sometimes, or they go off road sometimes, you know, because they're using something that doesn't represent what they liked originally. And then it throws their breedings off, or they take something that's an exception and try and make it the rule. That ain't the rule. So when you do that, it's more hit and miss. Where if you keep it consistent, you're gonna hit more than you miss. And that's how you make your own dogs, you know. They'll look the same, and some will resemble, you know, maybe something in the past that's different, or they might have a different build. But the trait, let's say you're looking for speed and power, right? I use those examples all the time. If my dogs didn't have those two things, I wouldn't breed them, even though I could win with them, or they were good dogs or game dogs or whatever, because I didn't want to lose that trait. And when you throw something in there that don't have it, it just has a way of where that will come out. You know, maybe they were bit harder on average, but they slow and dumb. You stick that in there, I guarantee you that's what's going to come out. Yeah. I'm going to lose some of my speed and power, right? Because I don't know what it is, but that the stuff you don't like seems to carry on. It's hard to get rid of once you keep it or add it to your stuff.
Yep. And even if you okay, I was wondering what casino was y'all talking about? Black Rocks, he say. All right, Black Rocks Casino. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, Mr. Garcia, it's you know, certain traits, like you can have a dog that's really good, right? A good performance dog, but he got this one trait that you don't like, which is he might be man aggressive, right? This motherfucker will bring that shit off on his offspring. Like, yeah. Fucking, bro, I know like 7 people that I know that got dogs off of this one champion. And we all got the same story. These motherfuckers man aggressive. You know what I'm saying? They just funny acting and shit. But they perform their ass off. They fucking man aggressive. So that's a trait that the father passed down. And like you got to watch them motherfuckers and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't want to have the ass around your kids and shit, you know. So yeah, that's the type of dog. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Garcia.
That's a good example. Now, what do you do with that? Let's say you want to breed them. Okay, so you breed them. The offspring that exhibit that trait, don't use them. That's how you kind of get rid of it. You lessen it and lessen it, you know. It's like bully son dogs or Eli dogs. They're known for being man biters, right? Well, my friend used it, incorporated. I did too, but I didn't use the ones that were man aggressive, and I didn't keep any that were man aggressive. So in the long run, I didn't have man aggressive dogs, even though they had rascal blood or bully son blood in them. Or like my friend, bully son and Eli stuff. Just like, you know, people say bully son dog known to quit. Okay. Well, he used bully son dogs that were known to be game. You don't use the ones that are quit, even if they got a 10 mouth or 12 mouth or 50 mouth, whatever. If they man aggressive, you don't use it, because you're going to find something that along that same bloodline or brother, whatever it is, that ain't man aggressive, even though maybe he don't have that hard of a mouth. But if you do breed that dog because you like his 50 mouth or whatever it is, don't use the offspring that show that aggressiveness.
Right.
That's it. You know, it takes time, you know, and like I said, people like to make the excuse, you know, the exception, the rule. You don't have to do that, you know. There's too many good dogs, and you can produce good dogs without keeping those traits that you don't like. And it could be anything. Maybe you don't like real small dog. You don't want 30-pound dogs. Well, don't keep them. Maybe you don't like 60-pound dog. Don't breed them. You know, and if you get 1 or 2 here, you know, that show those traits you like, maybe you use them. Back in the day, I'd still match them or whatever. I just wouldn't breed them. Right, because like you said, that one bad trait, it'll become pronounced for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's nature or whatever it is.
And sometimes
it's hella hard to get rid of.
Sometimes it's connected. Like sometimes, like in this situation I'm talking about, the best dogs, best performers, also the ones that perform, they also be man aggressive. So it's like, goddamn, well, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, they producing. So it's like
Yeah.
okay, well, what the fuck? You know, you gotta.
Yeah,
It's like a lesser of two evils. You gotta determine, is it worth
Yeah.
it? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this. If you're not gonna do nothing with the dogs, I wouldn't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do something with them, then you know what I mean. I guess it's worth it for you.
Yeah.
Because at least you're campaigning them and you're getting something out of it. But if you're just having them around your yard, I wouldn't trust that shit around my kids and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. And you know, one of the ways to lessen it is, let's say you have a man aggressive male and a female, and you like them a lot. You want to make a breeding. Don't breed those two together. Breed the man aggressive one to one that's not. Breed the man aggressive female to a male that's not. If you have two dogs that are destructive, they bite their chain and they bows and break their teeth. Don't breed two destructive dogs together. Don't breed two timid dogs together. Breed a timid dog if you like the hell out of them. Breed something that's outgoing and extroverted. You know, breed a chain fighter to a bitch that ain't a chain fighter, and eventually, you know, it at least you won't have a whole shitload of them. You'll have less and less chain fighters, less and less timid dogs, less and less man aggressive dogs. I'm telling you, my friend got heavy inbred bully son dog, and the guy he got them from, they didn't bite people, man. And his dogs, none of them have showed that trait because it was weeded out a long time ago. And they still have the bully son traits. They still short and squatty and rugged and tough and bite hard and screaming, and they're game too. So you can, you know, that's the breeding process.
Yes, sir. I've been getting a lot of people asking about this cookout, man. Y'all want to do a cookout, man? Y'all want to do a Game Dog Talk family cookout and shit?
And you know that's right.
I'll be there.
All right, well, let's get something cracking, man. We're gonna let y'all know. Let me look at my schedule and see what we can do, and try to do something.
If we do it, let's do it. Well, you know, maybe we'll come on your side, schoolboy side,
go to Vegas.
Yeah, where we
Vegas.
Yeah.
In Vegas, man. Vegas.
We could do some hangover shit afterwards.
It's hot in the motherfucking Vegas, man.
Yeah, the cookout. God damn.
Yeah.
You know,
We are all plans out of that
y'all got something against the Midwest, man. Y'all got something against coming to Milwaukee, man.
Oh, no. Never that, you know, we just don't want to tear up your city, you know.
Look here, y'all come out here, I can control the atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? I can
There you go. I'll go there.
Have everything straight, security. I can have the
park. Oh, big. I'm going to get on Money and Magic then and see which one I want.
There you go. Wherever you at, I'll go.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, we do. Yeah, it probably would be cooler too. You East Coast and Midwest niggas probably pass out in the summer out here.
Yeah, Vegas, man.
Yeah, that's kind of in the middle, so that, you know, people on the East Coast go and West Coast like that.
Yeah,
we'll get some. Let's plan it to give people enough time to make sure they can come.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it behind the scenes and we'll let everybody know about it. How we gonna do that? But
did somebody mention it in the chat?
Yeah.
Somebody in chat mentioned it, but they've been asking me to be out on the Patreon too.
Okay, well, I'm gonna hold them to this. If you mention it, you asking about, you better show up.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
They better show up.
Get their name, Kevin. Get their name.
Hell yeah! You better be the first one there, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Case of sodas or something. Paper plates, paper towels, something.
I'm gonna have somebody record it and do like a fun little video, a little documentary of it or something to capture the whole event, and we'll put it on YouTube, make it fun. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
We can have a panel, and if Bach ain't able to make it, then we'll do a live. FaceTime?
Yeah. We'll get Bach on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll have a live FaceTime with Bach on TV and all us sitting around together. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You know,
yes, sir.
Yeah, that'll be nice, man.
We're gonna hook it up.
Yeah, have a Q&A or something.
Q&A. There you go.
I'm gonna show you how to host a party, because
nobody throw a party
like 78. I'm telling you that right now.
Ain't no party like a 78 party. Don't stop.
Look here, when 78 throw a party, you better not be $1 to come out your goddamn pocket. Goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? It better be $1 to come out your pocket.
You gonna take that as offensive, huh?
All you got to do is bring your stomach.
Bring your ass and it changes raw.
Bring your ass and bring some condoms. You all right?
Hey, listen, 78. If we could do it like start like a Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, everybody go home Monday.
Hey, however y'all want to do it, we'll talk about it. We can build on something. Get everything started. I need my brother Eli Zach. You gotta be there. Thompson Jones, you gotta be there. I need my brothers to show up now.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there for like a week. Yeah, I'll fuck around, have a fun baby out there, bitch, before I leave.
Yeah, we might. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the best situation is to do with that. All right, I got another. Let's talk about this. Brother asked about the dog casino. He talking about Black Rocks Casino. Ram, you know anything about that? That's a virtually new dog. Ram, you know anything about the dog?
Yeah, I ain't hip. I thought they was talking about the casino that was off the blackjack stuff. That casino was a good producing motherfucker. You know, had a lot of people looking for that shit. But the Black Rocks dog, I ain't hip to. I don't really fuck with that shit, you know?
Yeah, I already know. That's why I said. That's why I went to you and shit.
Yeah. I don't fuck with them niggas shit like that, man. That shit, you know, it ain't for me.
Yeah. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say too much. But, you know, it is what it is. But, hey, man, salute to the panel, man, for coming through another successful show. Salute to the chat. Thank y'all so much for coming through and supporting us every week like y'all do and supporting the Patreon as well. We definitely appreciate y'all, man. And make sure you go register your dogs with Schoolboy Registry. You know what I'm saying? Because if you get a pup from me, the paper is going to be Schoolboy's. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Matter of fact, for that, I'm going to send you some bread for the litter I just did, Schoolboy. She having them at the end of this month. So, yeah, I got you. I'm going to register them with you, too. And I'm going to register
Appreciate it.
Yeah, all my pups is going to be registered with Schoolboy and ADBA. So, you know what I'm saying? You can dual registries out this joint. Let me see here. And also, let me make sure we got everything.
Rasta Man still got the bowls? You still selling the bowls, OG?
That's what I'm coming up with right now. I'm trying to find it. I don't see it on here. Rasta, here we go. Make sure y'all hit up Rasta Man for them concrete bowls, you dig? You know what I mean? Hit up Rasta Man for them concrete bowls. Make sure y'all do that. And 1 second here. Let me play.
Hello everyone, Skull Baby here. I'm super excited to share our newest installment of Dogman history, Dogs, Dogmen, and Bloodlines. We've just done a full restock and we can't wait to share everything from our home to yours.
Welcome to Ram. Go ahead and give us a disclaimer, bro.
Hey, man, you niggas already know none of this shit is intended for, nor should y'all be trying to use it towards any illegal purposes or activities. And you already know if you is using it for that, don't tell them you got it from here or nobody else, motherfucker. Keep your mouth shut. If you don't, you tell on anybody up here, especially me. You already know we finna be in a knife fight to the death. One of us going to the hospital, the other one going to the hole. Other than that, tomorrow, Monday, man, y'all be great, scratch hard, and stay sucker free, man. Wash y'all balls, too. It's the summertime. Funky draws having ass niggas.
Hey, man, salute, man, to the chat. Appreciate y'all, man. Share this video, all that good stuff, man. We'll holler at y'all on the Patreon this week. Tune in, and we'll see y'all on Sunday on YouTube. Peace.
Peace and blessings.